Hello, sixth graders. How are you today? Hope you're doing well. Let's get started immediately with learning checkpoint number 3. We are going to go through each of these questions one at a time, starting with number 1 right now. The source of the Mississippi River is Lake blank. Where would I find that answer to that question? Here's what I would encourage you to do. In your Minnesota mini text, turn to the section of lakes and rivers. And so again, the question is, what is the source of the Mississippi River? So we obviously need to scroll until we find the Mississippi River. Your answer will be in this paragraph on page 8. I'll give you a few seconds to find it and to respond to question number 1 before we move on to question number 2. All right, let's move on to question number 2. Question number 2 states, which river flows northward along the Minnesota and North Dakota border? So let's go back into our Minnesota mini text. Obviously, we're looking for another river, so let's go back to the section of rivers. So here we again have our rivers on pages 7 and 8. And what I would encourage you to do is to first figure out where is North Dakota. Once you figure out where North Dakota is, then you're going to have a really good idea of which river borders between Minnesota and North Dakota. And if you need to, you can always go back to page 1 and look at the states that border Minnesota, figure out where that state is, and then go back to page 8 to locate the correct answer for question number 2. Give you a few seconds to find your answer and to mark the correct answer on your learning checkpoint. All right, question number 3. Thousands of years ago, the lands of present-day Minnesota were covered several times by what? Okay, so again, we're talking about the lands of Minnesota being covered by what? All right, so back into our Minnesota mini text. Where are we going to find that information? We're going to start on page 7. And if you scroll through the first paragraph on page 7 under lakes, you will locate the answer to the question number 3. Again, I'll give you some time to skim through that section and to mark your answer for question number 3. Okay. Question number 4. This is a region. This region was once covered by Lake Agassiz and is known as an excellent region to grow crops due to its fertile soil. This time, I want you to pull out your lakes, rivers, and regions of Minnesota, and we're going to focus on the regions. So one of two places you can find it. You might find it here, but I think the better place to locate this answer is down here in questions 1 through 12. Look through your answers based on what we discussed a couple of days ago in class, and look to see if there's any question related to Lake Agassiz. Once you find that, go over to your question number 4 and mark the correct answer. If you don't have this completed, then yes, you will need to go into your Minnesota mini text, scroll down to page 10, and skim through pages 10, 11, and 12, and look at what we highlighted and look for the word Lake Agassiz. I'll give you some time to do that right now before we move on to question number 5. Question number 5. This region is located in the southeast corner of Minnesota and was never covered by giant masses of ice known as glaciers. Well, this is what I would do. First of all, figure out where the southeast corner of Minnesota is. Where is that? If you need to, draw compass rose. Then go into our Minnesota mini text and turn to page 9. And page 9 has a map of each of these regions. Another resource page that you could use, of course, is your Regions of Minnesota learning practice, and look at this map as well. But personally, I would look on page 9 in my Minnesota mini text to locate the correct answer to question number 5. Again, southeast corner of Minnesota. Draw compass rose if needed. All right, mark your answer for question number 5. Question number 6. What part of totals is this map of Minnesota missing? So here's the thing, okay? Here are your answer choices. So you'll notice that not all of totals is involved in this question. So I would just start with letter A, okay? Is there a title? I wonder where that is and what it is. There's letter B is orientation. Do you see an orientation or compass rose? C, do you see a date? Specifically, look for either a month or a month and year. Do you see a legend? And do you see a scale? And so look at that map to determine what is missing. If you need hints to help you, look back in your Minnesota mini text and look at your notes on totals, and that might help you as well to respond correctly to this question. All right, question number 7. This map of Minnesota includes a legend. Within this legend, there are symbols for U.S. highways and interstate highways. What other parts of totals does this map include? And again, it says use page 5 if needed. So the same thing as before. This time, you're looking for what else is included on this map. Okay, so what else can you find on this map? Is there a title? Is there a compass rose or orientation? Do you see a legend? Is there a scale? Do you see the name of the person or persons or company that made this map? So whatever you see on this map, that is the correct answer. So if you think there's a title on this map, then click letter A. I'll give you a hint. It's not letter A. All right, let's move on to question number 8. The largest freshwater lake in the world borders Minnesota in the northeastern part of the state. This lake also borders the city of Duluth. What is the name of this lake? If needed, use the map below for help. Okay, so what is this lake called? Well, if you're not certain what it is, go into your Minnesota mini text, look at page 1, and what lake borders Minnesota to the northeast? Mark your correct answer for number 8, and let's move on to number 9. The United States government was able to obtain a portion of the land that we now call Minnesota through an agreement with France called the Blank in 1803. Okay, well, let's use our Minnesota mini text. Let's scroll to page 4. Skim through this if needed. Okay, look at the title, look at the map, use all the clues on this page to help you to respond to this question. Again, clues could include the title, the map, or of course, the description down below. All right, mark your response for number 9, and let's move on to our 10th and final question. The blank of the Mississippi River is Lake Itasca. The blank of the Mississippi River is the Gulf of Mexico. Okay, make sure you spell correctly, and remember on these ones, you're going to want to click inside the blank and then click your response, and it'll fill in automatically. So basically, the first blank's asking you for the start of the Mississippi River. What is the start? Okay? If you don't know, you have options on where to locate your response or to help you with your response for that question. First of all, page 8 includes these river terms. The other location where these river terms are located are in our geography glossary. Okay, look at the bottom 3, source, mouth, and tributary branch. Okay, so again, number 1 is the start of the Mississippi River. That is for the first blank, and the second blank is basically asking you for the end of the river. So start is blank 1, end is blank 2. Once you respond, click review questions, review answers, and then make sure you submit. Thank you.